to another video. I put a question box on Instagram. You guys gave me some questions. Let's go through the top 10. Okay, the first question is a really common question, and I'm glad this one has come up. They said, why are you called Into the Eve? So, we actually weren't called Into the Eve to begin with. We had a different name. But I didn't realise that that name was already taken by somebody else. Stupid. So, I had about a week to change it. I wrote down loads of names. I knew the sort of vibe that I was going off. I just had no clue. Like, making a business name is so hard. But Into the Eve was the only one that I was like, it kind of works. Into the evening, you know, it's kind of on theme with like having bath and beauty products and whatever, skincare products and soap products is what I meant, sorry. Don't even know what I sell. I just had to roll with it. I honestly didn't even like it at first, but it was just the best of what I got. But now I love it, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I think the name is just us. It's so us. We've really like become one with it. So yeah, there's no real reason, to be honest. I guess the short version is it means into the evening. Okay, the next question is from Joshua. He said, what's your most viral video? Well, this was a video on TikTok over a year ago now. Fun fact, the video is about me cutting my watermelon soap bars up. Fun fact, I was actually having a really bad day that day. I was crying before the video because I was just having a rubbish day. And I thought, oh my God, I need to post on TikTok. I'm not posting on there in a little while. Oh, I don't know what to do. And I just recorded this one voiceover. No energy. I said about 20 million times. And the video took off. Like the second I posted it, I have never experienced it in my life. Ding, 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 ding. Like these follows, these likes, these comments coming through. It was literally non-stop. And I cannot explain how crazy it was. Like, I would keep refreshing my TikTok feed and my follows would go up hundreds of thousands of followers at a time. I think now it's sitting at 11.5 million views. It was absolutely crazy. The video is rubbish. It just went viral because it went viral and I said a million times, so everyone was getting annoyed. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. In terms of orders, we didn't really get any orders off the back of it because I wasn't expecting that video to blow up and my website wasn't optimized, and it still isn't really, to be honest. But yeah, the website wasn't really in a good position and we hardly had any watermelon soap bars in stock. So yeah, watermelon soap bars sold out on the same day, obviously, but I didn't have many in stock, and so you can't make that quick to restock. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. We have had a lot of viral videos, but that was the one that was like, whoa, my goodness, this is madness. Okay, the next question comes from Ashton. He said, what's the hardest thing about owning a business and what's the best thing? That's a great question. Hardest thing, I think, that's relevant to me now is allowing yourself to get consumed by it. So my whole life is the business, and right now I don't want to change that. I love it, but I really, really struggle with the work-life balance. Like, you know, all my money, all my time is going into growing this business to get it to a point where I can function and relax and enjoy running the business, but also not have to worry in my personal life. So right now it's forfeited with the business. So that is a real big challenge. I think that's what I'm finding hard. I always have found hard, and I'm finding really, really hard. I think the other thing as well, which I'm finding now, which I've only just thought about since we've had this question, but since having a team, when things go wrong, trying to keep a brave face. That is so hard because especially in this workshop, I don't have an office area. If I get a really bad letter, or like, I'm gonna start crying, but like a really bad phone call or like a bad email, I'm actually starts crying. But yeah, I think it's one of the hardest things because no matter how, cause things go wrong all the time, like I'm always gonna get bad letters, bad phone calls, bad emails and whatever. But I think the hardest thing is to still come into work, be positive, set the mindset for the day for everyone. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, I think the hardest thing is when things go wrong, I don't have a space to allow to like process that myself. Like I have to do it in front of everyone. And then especially like if I'm just feeling really down and not having a great day, like having to come into work and be positive and almost fake it in a way, just so the team, you know, because if I come into work, I'm in a bad mood, everyone else is in a bad mood and they don't perform very well, they have a rubbish day. Like I still have to try and come in, be in a good mood, be bright and bubbly and sort of fake it till I make it, and then that sets a tone for everyone else and it puts the team into a good mood and we have a great day. So yeah, that's really hard because I'm not good at faking things, but some days you really just have to put on a brave face and just like yeah, crack on with it. So that's really hard. I wasn't expecting to, I've never spoken about that before actually, so that's a really good question. It's triggered that thought. I suppose obviously running a business, like, it's not as secure as it would be if I had a normal job. Like, I don't know some months if I can pay myself, to be honest. Like when I was working a normal job, I earned more money than I do myself now, but that's just because I choose to put my money back into the business, because I know by doing that we're going to flourish in the future. So off the top of my head, they're the worst things, or like, what was it, the question? I think the worst things are running a business. Best things is that when things go right, oh my god, it is the best feeling in the world. I don't have kids, but I feel like, to me, this really is my baby. Like, this is what I can imagine having a kid feels like. When it's doing well and when it's being good and it's doing a great job, oh my god, I'm so proud of myself, the team, and I'm just so grateful of the community that we've built and all the customers. So yeah, that's of course is amazing. I suppose another good thing is, because I own the business and I run it, I can take time off when I want. I was so lucky enough that last year I had enough money that I could go on holiday, me and my boyfriend, to Australia for 5 weeks, off the back of just running the business. Like, I could not have done that if I had a normal 9 to 5 or like my old job. So that was amazing. Obviously you can have time off when I feel like I can have time off, which is awesome. Other great thing about running a business is that I get to do what I love every single day, and I feel like that's something you hear people talk about all the time, but I genuinely am so passionate about it. Like, even now we're 3 years into the business, I will still go live on TikTok at least minimum 2 times a week. I absolutely love it, and I can't see that changing. I just love communicating with all of you and having a chat with my community. So yeah, off the top of my head, those are the 3 worst things and 3 best things I can think of about running a business. Okay, next question is quite a personal one. They said, what did you do career-wise before Into the Eve? So, long story short, I used to be a swimmer, and I'm a really good swimmer. I used to swim national, international levels. I was actually really good. So I was always a swim teacher and lifeguard. Did that for about 5 years. That allowed me to go and work in Australia, doing the same thing, working in sales and other things like that over there as well, within leisure. When I came back, not going to get into it too much, but I realised how rubbish swim teaching is in England. So I was like, hell no, can I go back to swim teaching here? I cannot do it. So that's why I was unemployed for about 3 months, because I just couldn't find a job which wasn't what I was trained in, you know? Within that time I started to prep on soap making, but watch my previous video because that will go into more detail in that. So yeah, I then worked in a bank for, I don't even know how long actually, but I worked in a bank from the moment I started making soap pretty much until January 22. Yeah, January 2022, and that's when I went full-time with the business. So yeah, there you go. Okay, the next question, I think it's number 6 now. It's going to be a mix of a few questions. People are asking, when are we going to change our packaging, and is it going to improve shipping costs and everything? So we currently use glass jars for all of our jarred products. We've been doing that for about a year. I didn't realise at the time that actually glass is the worst possible packaging material you can use for like e-commerce stuff like this, because it's heavy and it's what's the word? I can't think of the word, but it takes a lot of energy to make it and to recycle it, I believe. So we are going to be changing our packaging. We are thinking at the moment to aluminium. I'm not going to go into detail as to why, what's better sustainability wise. I'm not an expert. I do have a sustainability expert who's been helping me with it, but I'm not going to answer those questions in depth right now until I actually have the facts and I can educate you onto why I've made the change and to what's going on. But yes, when we change the packaging, that will severely, is that the right word? It will massively reduce the shipping costs for international customers, because it's not going to be anywhere near as heavy. At the minute, the glass jars weigh more than the actual product. It's insane. So obviously, because the weight is heavier for the box, the international shipping costs are quite high. So yeah, when we change to hopefully aluminium or something similar, I have a few ideas up my sleeve. When we change it over, it will weigh a lot less, so therefore shipping will be cheaper. So yeah, great questions guys, and I love that you're all interested. But when I've got the information and all the facts, I'll make a whole video as to why I've changed over, and I can educate you guys too, so we can all make better sustainability options. Next question is from Jess, question number 7. She said, are you thinking about bringing out more products and new scents? Yes, but I'm so sorry Jess, I'm not going to spill the beans, because I've made this mistake a lot in the past where I've spoken about things before I've done it, and things have gone wrong, and then the pressure of things going wrong just makes me spiral into a bit of a downward spiral. So yes, I have a lot of things planned for this year and further, but I'm not going to go into detail. We currently sell soap bars, lip butters, lip polishes, whip soaps, body butters, body polishes, bath dust and bath bombs. We have a big variety of products. And yes, I've got a lot planned for this year. I can say, which I think leads into the next question, question number 8, are we ever going to launch shampoo bars and conditioner bars? Yes, that is going to happen. Not going to say when or give you a time frame, but yes, that is going to happen. Watch this space. The final question comes from Ema. She says, what determines if something will become a soap bar or not? She's talking about fragrances. How do I decide what product I'm going to put them in? So, it depends on the fragrance oil. Normally, so when we test them out, they might smell good in a product like a whip soap, for example, but the actual fragrance might not perform so well in a soap bar. They can quite often change the colour of the soap, speed up the trace so they get a bit too thick, so I can't like pour them into the moulds, and sometimes the fragrances just don't smell very strong in a soap bar. So that's how I can determine between a soap bar and a jar product. We have to test it out in them first. In terms of jar products, or well, in terms of any of the products, what I normally have is a vision of what I want to create first. So you guys might say, hey Zoe, I really want a watermelon soap. Oh my god, it'll be so good. And I'll go and test out some watermelon fragrances and put it in a soap bar. We obviously have a watermelon soap. So one of our most popular and viral soap bars. We have one now. But that was the, like, you know, the concept with that. Sometimes it's that we want to do like a themed like collection, like maybe it's like Valentine's, so I think of anything pink or like girly that I could do, or you know, something like that, and then I'll try and find some fragrances that fit with that theme. Sometimes it's a colour theme, like maybe I want to do like a rainbow, I don't know, jar product or a rainbow soap bar, and I'll just try and find some fragrances that don't affect the colour of the soap bar or that we think is on theme with that colour. It really just depends on that. Another question that I get asked, which is kind of off the back of this, is how do I decide what fragrance to put in a salt soap compared to a normal soap? Because here at Into the Eve, we don't have the same fragrance in both types of soap bars, and that is just purely business related. I just don't feel like it's a good business move. Like, I feel like we'd be wasting our time doing that, because we'll always have one person, you know, people will buy one more than the other. And the way I choose between the two is just whatever I feel like. Or like, say if I want to do like a really intricate design, I can't do intricate designs in a salt soap, so I'll do it in a regular soap and that fragrance will go with that, if that makes sense. But that's a really good question, and I feel like that would actually spark an awesome long form YouTube video on its own. So watch this space, maybe I'll do something more with that. Thank you for watching another video, and thank you for all the questions as well. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also come and say hi on TikTok, Instagram and Snapchat.